Hey everybody, so I thought this would be kind of a cool video to make. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Salesforce, with regards towards their development of Einstein, their AI system, they release a lot of it open source and they develop a lot of it open source and they developed a lot of it on open source technology. So simply by looking at what they've developed and what they've released on the open source side, you can kind of get a really good behind the scenes view of how they've trained their model, how they've trained Einstein specifically, and just taking a look at what they've released. So as far as their spaces on Hugging Face, they had more like probably like 6 months ago when they were training their model. They had a lot more, but so they have 3 spaces up and running right now. And then one of the spaces that they have, you can't actually upload images to it anymore, but it's image based. And then both of their spaces are really image based that they have here. And then so all the model does is essentially just takes the people, gives it, and then it's description based, and then producing the output, reproducing the output. That's kind of the goal of the model is those 2 things. So taking in the description and then reproducing based off of it. So the original description is an old ruined building. New description is a new modern office building, and then so it kind of just generates based off of that. And then blip 2 and blip 1 are kind of the same, so I'll just go into blip 2. And then blip 2 is, it's interesting because so with this model at Salesforce, they want you to train their model. So a lot of, if you've used this model, you've trained Salesforce's Einstein model. And then so essentially they give you the image and then they want you to like caption or provide the caption as to like questions and answers to it with regards towards captioning, so that you can essentially just bottom line train their model. So like kind of how they want you to do it, and why they've released the space here. But the more important thing here is to dive into their models specifically, and so you can see they've released 97 models total, and diving into them, a lot of them, it's so image based is big for Salesforce and Einstein. So you can tell that off the bat they're very interested in multimodality, and then so making sure that it has image, audio, they have everything, every modality that you could think of mixed in here, and that they've kind of released and that they've definitely incorporated in their model because they've scaled it up. Second thing that you can see is that like with a lot of these technologies, if you go through, let me see a good example, you can see that like they scale a lot of it up. So 7 billion parameters, 16 billion parameters, starting down here at 220 million parameters, 110 million parameters. So especially like with coding, you can see that like when they probably like find something that they want to incorporate or use, they'll scale it up further. So they'll train on a 110 million parameter model, 220, which is very common. Make sure that it's all good there before you scale up, and then you train on like a large model, and which is a larger investment, like huge costs to do this. So it's better to just do this, make sure that all is good. If you need to iterate here, then you finalize, and then you go up. And then the other thing to note here as well is that they really like the Flan model. They like, I've noticed 2 models here from Google, Flan and the T5 models. And then if you look through some of these, if you click through, some of them have model cards, some of them don't, like this one does. But they, Salesforce seems to like and seems to state that they have made kind of like significant improvements on Flan and then and Flan and the T5 models very specifically. So I think that their approach in general is kind of just to expand upon and to utilize kind of like the existing dominance of certain open source systems that are out as far as like backend technologies, and they've kind of just iterated from there, which is a good approach from my end overall. Other thing to note is that they do have, it's everything that you would think of as far as what Salesforce is. Like it's agent based, it has agent modalities, it has something called Socrates, which I've been trying to scroll through here, but there's way too many. There's 97. But Socrates is giving it like more towards like agent capabilities again. Search capabilities like grounding search is big within this model. So big things to note are that you can tell that they're trying to see, you can see the areas where they ground it very specifically for use within the Salesforce product, but overall they're going for a very like broad model and robust model, multi-modalities, the ability for the model to ingest like multiple system type, like data types. Unsupervised learning is a big thing that they within their models that they release here. So being able to recognize unlabeled data, which is very common, and that's a big feature of their AI releases. So you can see like within, just by looking at what they've released as far as the models and what they're scaling up here, you can get like a really good indication of how Einstein is built out. And then if you look at like the leaderboards, their AI, Salesforce's AI, Einstein, it scores pretty well. Like it's pretty high up there, even though it's a lower parameter model. And then it's like you can see that they know what they're doing, in my opinion, with what they're building out on the AI hand and on the AI end here. And then they're going for a really good approach, which is making their model like really robust. Like they're not making their model like really good at one thing. Like their model like is not just like the Salesforce expert. They're making it like here is everything, like the kitchen sink. We want you to learn it, and that seems to be their approach. And it seems they've been training it for a long time, and you can see that within this. So if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.